Hello everyone, welcome back to our Solidworks course. In this new video, we would be creating another 3D model, and with the help of this 3D model, we will learn how to add ribs. Let's take a look at a 3D model first. Here you can see that we have a reference image for a 3D model. All the dimensions required in order to create it are given over here. We have discussed how to create ribs in previous videos. If you're confident that you can create this model, you can stop the video over here and try creating it on your own. But I will show you how to create it in this video. So if you are not confident and you think that you need to learn more, you need not worry, I am here to help you. I hope you've taken a good look at the example or the reference image over here. Now let's not waste any more time and get to SolidWorks and begin with our modeling. We will create a new part and begin sketching on the front plane. I will create a corner rectangle from the origin over here like this. I will move my sketch to the left and then begin by giving it its dimension. This rectangle would be of 154 millimeters by 20 millimeters. Next, I will create this arc over here. I will select a center point arc and create an arc like this. I have selected the wrong starting point. I will press escape and exit it. Again, I will select the center point arc and I will specify the starting point of the arc over here. What I will do is that now you can see over here that the arc is going outside our sketch. No problem, we'll use the inference line in order to set our point in line with this horizontal line. Now, I will first specify the distance of the center from our line over here. I'll go to Smart Dimensions, select the center and then select this edge over here, and I will give them a dimension of 54 millimeters. Once we have done this, you can see that the end point of the arc is now inside our rectangle. Now we will give this arc a radius of 28 millimeters. Once we have done this, what we will do is that we will offset this entity. We'll offset this arc at a distance of 10 millimeters. You can see the direction is the proper one. I want to offset it on the inside. I will click on OK and generate an offset of this entity. Next, what I will do here is that I will create another corner rectangle from this vertex over here like this and give it its dimensions. I'll go to Smart Dimensions and give it a height of 10 millimeters. Once we have done this, what I will do is that I will create a reference point. I will show you how. I will exit the Smart Dimensions command first by pressing escape. I will select this arc and this line over here and then click on point. What this will do is that it will create a point at the intersection of these two sketch entities as shown over here. Next, we will define our line from this point as 6 millimeters as shown in this reference image over here. I will get back into the Smart Dimensions command, select this edge and then select this point that we just created and give a distance of 6 millimeters between these two both. Now what we have to do is that we have to trim off all the extra entities that we no longer require. For that, we will go to Trim Entities. Here you can see that Power Trim is on by default. We will move forward by clicking and moving our cursor on the entities that we no longer require, like these ones over here, this entity over here, this at the bottom, and these all entities over here. We will also trim this entity in between and this final entity over here. Now you can see that we have successfully generated our profile. Now we are ready to extrude it. We will go to Features, select Extruded Boss Base, and from here you can see that it has selected the contour. Now I will extrude it from the mid plane for a distance of 72 millimeters. I will enter 72 and then click on OK to generate this extrude. You can see that we have generated a base feature over here. Next, what we will do here is that we will generate this feature. I will again select front plane and select Sketch. I will press Ctrl 8 on my keyboard and then align it normal to the screens. Now I will select the circle sketch entity, create two concentric circles over here like these. I will again create a center line for these circles and divide these into two equal halves. What I will do is that I will use the center line in order to define the distance of the center of these circles from the edges. Here you can see that we have been given 3 dimensions. We don't need to calculate them and then enter it here. What we do is that we simply enter all of them as they have been shown, as 18 plus 46 plus 54. If I press enter, you can see that Solidworks has automatically calculated them and entered the value over here. Now you can see that I am in the radius dimension mode. I will press escape and exit it. Next, I will give this circle a dimension of 36 millimeters, that is its diameter, and I will give the inner circle a diameter of 18 millimeters. Once we have done this, we need to specify the distance of the center of these circles from this bottom edge over here, that is 82 millimeters. Once you have entered all our dimensions, you can see now that the sketch is fully defined and ready to be extruded. But we forgot to create this bottom portion over here. For that, what we will do is that we will draw two lines starting from this edge over here. I will start it from this edge. It is not showing us a point. Let's say we start it from here and generate a line till here like this, and then make it coincident on our circle. We'll make sure that it is coincident and at the same time it is vertical. I will press escape and exit the line command. I will drag my center line downwards and then make these 2 points coincident. You can see that if I drag my point on this line, it is being highlighted, showing that a coincident relation would be snapped. Now my line is coincident. All I have to do here is to give it a dimension. That is in this direction. I will press Ctrl 8 and then again set it normal. Get into the Smart Dimensions command. Select these two lines and slightly drag my cursor onto the other end and give it a width of 10 millimeters. Now that we have done this, I will go to this Mirror Entities command, select these two entities, and without moving my mouse, I will press the right mouse key in order to switch my selections from entities to mirror about. I will select this center line about which my mirror will take place, and again, without moving my mouse, I will press the right key. Here you can see that a mirror has been generated, but we will trim off all the excess entities that we don't need. Once we have created our profile and it is fully defined, we'll go to Features and Extrude it. I will again extrude this from the mid plane and for a distance of 54 millimeters. I will enter 54 and then press on OK in order to generate our profile. You can see here our extrusion has been created. Now we will create our ribs. For that, we will again sketch on the front plane. I will select the front plane and select the sketch command. I will press Ctrl 8 and I will set it normal to our screens. I will simply draw a line over here like this and I will end it. I will press escape and make sure that I select these two lines. I make sure I select this line and this edge over here and then give them a tangent sketch relation. Next, I will do the same for this. I will select this circle over here, press Ctrl and select this line over here and make them tangent. Once I have done this, you can see here that my profile has been created. I have specified the line and that it is fully defined. We can move. You don't need to specify its distance. Now once that it is defined, we will move to Features, select Rib, and then here you can see that the direction of the creation of the rib is in this direction, and the thickness, for the thickness we have selected both sides, so it will be creating the thickness on both the sides. Here we have to specify the thickness. In our case it is 10 millimeters and 10 millimeters has been added by default over here. So we don't have to do much over here. We simply have to click on OK and then you can see here that it will generate a rib. You saw that we didn't create a line or define its endpoints. But here you can see that the rib has been generated for this whole portion. Wherever the material was present, it created a rib up till that. We just have to specify that the line is tangent to our curves. Next, again we'll sketch on the front plane. I will press Ctrl 8 and set it normal to the screens. I will again create a line over here, something like this. I will press escape, again select this line, press Ctrl and select this edge over here. I will again set it tangent to my curvature or this curved surface over here, that is a cylinder. Once we have done this, what we can do over here is that we can select this line and then coincide it on this point over here. I'll press Ctrl and select this point and make them coincident. Here we have defined the starting and end point of our rib by this line, but yet this line is not fully defined. You can see here that the edge is not completely defined. I will keep it inside over here. Go to features, select rib. Once we are into the rib feature, we will give it all our input parameters. That is, I want the thickness on both the sides of this line over here, and the direction of extrusion should be in the opposite direction. I will select flip material side, and you can see that now the direction is proper. Now that we have given all the input parameters, we will simply click on OK and generate this rib. You can see that this rib has been added. Next, we have to create these two ribs over here on these two opposite ends. We will create only one rib and then mirror it. For that, what we have to do here is that we have to sketch on a plane at the center of this. We will go to the reference geometries drop down, select plane and then create a plane at the mid of these two faces over here. We will select, it has automatically selected mid plane. Now that we have created a plane over here, we will click on OK and generate this plane. I will click on this plane over here and select sketch. Once I am into the sketch mode, I will press Ctrl 8 and then set it normal to the screens. Again, I will select a simple line like this and then select this point over here and draw a line that is coincident on this edge. I will press escape. Now I have to specify the distance of this point from the center of these circles or these cylinder over here, that is at a distance of 28 millimeters. I will select this axis and then select this point. This axis is not being selected. From the drop down of show, we will select temporary axis. I'll press escape, again get into the smart dimensions. I will select this axis over here and then select this point. Now it is showing us the dimension between them. I will enter this as 28 and you can see here that our line is now completely defined. Now what we will do here, we will go to features and then select rib. We will make sure that all our dimensions are proper, that is, we want the thickness on the both side of our line, the direction of extrusion is right as well. I will simply click on OK and then you can see here that the rib has been generated. In order to create a rib on the other side, I will use the mirror command. I will select mirror. It is first asking me about what face I want to create the mirror. I will say front plane and it is asking the feature that I want to mirror, that is a rib. I will select it, click on OK and you can see here that the same rib has been generated on the opposite end as well. If I set this to isometric view, you can see that our model is now almost ready. We just have to add these holes over here and this cut over here. First, I will hide the plane as it no longer serves any purpose. I will also add the temporary axis over here. Now I will select this plane over here and then sketch on it. I will press Ctrl 8 on our keyboards and create a rectangle over here like this. Once I have done this, I will select this line. I will hover my mouse over this line and select its midpoint. Again, I will move my mouse over this edge over here and its midpoint is now being shown. I will press Ctrl. OK, it is not giving us that option. What we will do here is that we will define it by dimensions. I will give its width as 20 millimeters and its height over here is 8 millimeters. And this is at a distance. We have to align it at the center itself. For that, I will show you how to do it. First, I will select this center over here. I will hover my mouse over this line, select the center of this line, press Ctrl and select our origin from over here. I will now simply make them both horizontal. Now that we have done this, you can see that with simple steps our sketch is now fully defined. Now we have to create a cut. I will go to Features, select Extruded Cut, and from over here you can see that the preview is being shown. I will say through all, so that it cuts through all of the bodies or all of the material created. If I click on OK, you can see that now our cut has been generated. Now we will use the hole wizard in order to create our holes. I will select the hole wizard and specify the hole type first, that is a normal hole. I will specify the standard as unsymmetric. I want the hole type to be drill sizes. Here you can see that the hole dimension is shown over here, 2 holes of diameter 12. From the drop down, I will scroll here and select 12. You can see here that here it is showing 12. I will select 12. I will say my end condition to be through all. Now I will specify or position my hole over on this face. I will select this face and say this is the position of my hole. I will align it here and go to Smart Dimensions in order to specify the dimensions of its center from the edges. This hole is at a distance of 46 plus 54 millimeters. Now that we have given it this dimension, we will also align in this direction. I will zoom in, select this point, and from this edge over here, I will give it a dimension of 18 millimeters. Once I have done this, you can see that the hole is fully defined. I will click on OK and then again I will click on OK and it will generate a hole for the dimensions that we entered. Now we'll go to the drop down of linear pattern, select mirror from here, say or specify about which face or plane I want the mirror to take place. I will select front plane over here. It had already selected the hole. If I click OK, you can see that here it creates the mirror copy of our hole. Now the only things left are to be added are our radiuses or the fillets. Here I will go to fillet and select this edge over here. Give it a fillet of 3 millimeters and click on OK. Now the next fillet that we need to add is the fillet on these two edges. I will again go to fillet, select these edges over here and then give them a fillet radius of 10 millimeters. I will select constant size fillet, click on OK and generate these fillet. Once we have added this, we will set it to the isometric view by pressing Ctrl 7. Now you can see that our geometry is completely ready. I hope all the functions and features that were shown to you in this video were all clear and that you've understood it. Also, I hope that now you know how to create ribs. I hope this was a helpful video. I will see you in the next one. Thank you.